Oh my god, you only use meta weapons. Oh, it's so boring. Why don't you use fun weapons in your videos ever? Come on. God. Alright, we're gonna have a little talk here about why that's so stupid to say something like that. Alright, first of all, I guarantee I've used all these weapons that I've used before anyone else has used them. I had the game before it came out, and then I had it on Japanese version, and then I had it on, when it came out here. So, I guarantee 99.9% of the people that are saying, oh my god, you've just copied what's popular and using it now. No, not really. I've been using it longer than basically all of you. That's not a bragging thing. That's just, I had the game before it came out. I've used the weapons longer. It's impossible to copy it when it was popular because, again, there's no way to say this without sounding like a hipster. I used them before they were popular. That's a stupid argument, but not many people use that one, so I'm not going to go on a tirade about that. However, we'll go with individual weapon examples. Something like, they go, okay, Karthus Curved Sword. Oh my god, it's so overpowered, it's so boring, it's so meta. Why do you use it? Again, I've been using it since the game came out. I use it because I like it, but I guess that's not the main point I'm trying to drive home right now. So, Karthus Curved Sword. Okay. So, let's say I agree with you. Let's say, okay, fine. It's meta, it's boring, I'll use a different curved sword. How about I use, the Storm King Curved Sword? We'll use that instead. It's about the same range, it's like a teeny bit shorter, and it has less AR. So, now I'm using that weapon. And what's changed when I fight people? Absolutely nothing. I'm going to fight people in the exact same way as if I was using the Karthus Curved Sword. The only difference is it's going to take me, 8 hits instead of 7 hits to kill the player. Are you saying that that's suddenly not boring anymore? Because I'm not using a meta weapon anymore, but I'm playing the exact same way, so because I do slightly less damage, now it's not boring? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so then you can go, okay, fine, Storm Curved Sword also falls in that category. You can't use that one either. Okay, fine, I'll use the Pontiff Knife Curved Sword. Okay, well, you can't use that one either, because it also falls... I mean, if you see the pattern, eventually you're just going to cut out the entire curved sword category. It gets to a point where there's not enough viable weapons in this game to be doing that shit. It's not fair. Like, I could use every single one. Eventually, you're going to keep cutting off, lengths of the sword until I'm down to the Painting Guardian sword. And then you'll be like, okay, no, that's fine. You can use that one. And that's stupid. You're saying all the weapons in the game... All the curved swords in the game basically are okay, except the Karthus, even though they all do the same exact thing, with slightly less range and damage. It would not change the way I play at all. It would be the exact same, I guess, how you view boring duels. I would play the exact same way, so how is using a weapon that just does slightly less damage any different? It doesn't make any sense, so using that as a complaint it doesn't make any sense. I really don't understand that at all. Another weapon, like a Black Knight Glaive, we'll go with. I don't even use this thing that much anymore, but again, used it since basically before the game came out. I loved it. And people go, okay, the spin combo is a little overpowered. And I agree, it's a little overpowered. I think it does a little too much damage. I actually stopped using it, personally, because I feel like it does too much damage. But just because I stopped using it personally doesn't mean I bitch at other people for using the combo. I don't care. If you hit me with the R1, then I deserve to be hit by the L2 and the R2. That's fine. So, I mean, I don't bitch about other people using that thing. It doesn't make any sense. And, okay, even, I'll pretend I'll take, this side of the people complaining about this stuff. Okay, so I can't use the Black Knight Glaive. It's meta. It's OP. I can't use it anymore. Okay, I'll use the regular glaive. Okay, actually, no, wait, no, you can't use the regular glaive because it has basically the same move set, and it also has the R1, L2, R2 combo, so you can't use that one. You can not use that one either. Okay, that's fine. I'll use the Lucerne. Okay, well, you can't use the Lucerne either because it also has the R1, L2 spin suit. It's just an endless cycle until you've basically narrowed it down to okay, unless you're using daggers and demon fists, you're OP, meta, boring, don't want to watch this. And that would all be fine and dandy if I actually found the weapons I use boring. In fact, the only weapon that I use that I actually do find boring is the washing pole, and I just added that to deal with other washing poles, and that's about it, because that thing is really annoying to fight. But I love using all the weapons that I use. I have fun using them. So when you say, use these other weapons, they're more fun, that's subjective. It doesn't make any sense to me. What else do I use? Goddard's Twin Swords. Okay, again, weapon I've been using since the game came out. I didn't use it because it's popular. I used it and then it got popular. Okay, so Goddard's Twin Swords. Best thing about Goddard's Twin Swords, the main reason people use it, is the rolling L1. It's really, really good. It's an excellent attack. Everything else about it straight sword-wise is kind of lackluster. It's a It's a pretty long range, but it's got less damage than a lot of straight swords. Even at 40-40, like with Refine, it just does, it's like 380 AR or something like that, which is a lot less than the others. The L1s are really good, but they're slow and it's hard to get a full combo off, because you can just be hit at any time during it and you'll be taken out of the combo. So while they can do a lot of damage, it's not particularly great. You know, I think everyone agrees the best part about Goddards is the rolling L1. So then why don't people bitch about the Drawing Twin Spears, which has the exact same rolling L1 with actually more range? Why is that weapon not labeled meta and boring and OP? It's a pretty simple reason. It's not labeled meta and OP and stuff like that because it's not meta. It's circular logic, but it's not used by everyone because it's not used by everyone. And that's it. That's the only reason. It has the exact same rolling L1, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, and if you're trying to defend it and say, well, Goddard's, you know, it also has the straight sword moveset, which is arguably better than the spear moveset too. Okay, well then you can use any other straight sword in the game that has much higher AR. You can use like a dark sword or something like that, which has like 80 more AR, which is just much, much better if you're looking for the straight sword R1s. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you would have to go, okay, I guess you're not allowed to use any straight swords at all because they all have the same basic moveset. They're all OP and all that stuff. That you'd have to say the entire straight sword moveset is meta and OP. And then, by this logic, all the halberds are meta and OP. All the curved swords are meta and OP. It's going to get down to the point where there's no weapons left. Dark Souls 3 does not have enough weapon variety, and split damage is kind of useless, so there's not that much to work with here. So when you say, like, all the weapons that I use are meta and boring, and, you know, that's annoying because that's what I have fun using. I really enjoy using these weapons, and there's not that many in total, so you can't just cut out entire categories of weapons just because you see it a lot. And, you know, don't get me wrong, some weapons are absolutely better than others. Not all weapons are created equal. There are absolutely tiers of weapons in this game. But when you say I can't use the Karthus, but I can use a slightly less damaging curved sword that does the exact same thing, that's the dumbest argument ever. Because all that changes, it changes the duration it takes for me to beat the guy. It's one more hit. That's all that changes, and that's really dumb. So, I don't know. I just think that whole complaint about using meta weapons is just really, really stupid, and more of a sign of somebody that doesn't know how to counter shit than, you know, the sign of a good player complaining about something just simply being too strong. So, that was my rant. I got nothing else. Take it easy.